Hello and welcome to our live coverage of this evening's Centenary Shield clash between the under-18 Schoolboys of England and Northern Ireland. I'm Isaac Barrington, here to take you through all of tonight's action at the Truro Sports Hub. But first, let's hear from the two team managers on what they had to say when I caught up with them both earlier this evening. Well, Richie, thanks for speaking to us. Just firstly, how have you been finding things so far being back in charge of the under-18s team?
Yeah, I've loved it, to be fair. The main reason why I came in is just to finish off the job, really, which the job is to win the Centenary Shield, which we're still capable of doing. In terms of results, the last game we didn't get the result that we wanted, but we're still in it, and we've got a great chance tonight to rectify their mistakes that we made. And yeah, in terms of my enjoyment myself, I mean, being with the players again, being around everybody at SAFIB, I've absolutely loved every minute so far, on and off the pitch. But like I said, we've got a great chance tonight just to turn things around, and we are a good squad. We've got some good players in the squad, and we've got a great chance tonight just to show everybody how good we are.
Yeah, it was obviously a disappointing result against Scotland in that opening game. How have you and the players reflected upon that match in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we've watched it back on the VO, but I've said to the boys, don't get bogged down and watching it too many times. It's quite evident, and everybody knows that most of the problems we had was at the back line, which, it really was one long ball, 30-40 yards, which caught us between the two centre-backs. And unfortunately for us, we had a very good centre-forward against us who scored 4. Good player. But overall, I thought the game we kept ourselves going, and we created some good chances. And I just, like I said before, if we avoid making them same mistakes and we defend better, not just at the back four, but right across the pitch, I think we've got a good chance of winning.
Moving on to the game this evening, then you touched on it there at home under the floodlights. How big a chance do you think it is to get a win on the board? But also, how big a test do you think it will be against last year's champions?
Yeah, honestly, the 3 years I've had experience, Northern Ireland do tend to have some very technical and tactical, very good players. The biggest advantage they've got, and I've said this in every year that we've played them, is that they get together every weekend for 30 weeks at least, so they've got a massive advantage. And obviously against us, we don't get together very much at all. In terms of preparation, we played against Australia. We went to St George's Park, which was fantastic. In terms of team bonding, playing 2 games, and then we're straight in against Scotland. So yeah, I think the lads have really had an insight of what the Centenary Shield's all about. It's a cup game, obviously. Nobody likes to play. I think every team that we play against, determined to beat the English, which I've told the boys that's what you expect. Tonight's no different. But in terms of Northern Ireland, yeah, it's another tough game. Like I said, in terms of preparation, they've got an advantage over us, but we're not afraid of them. We'll have a right go at them. 2 good teams going head to head, and it should be a good game. And I'm really pleased to see that there's a big crowd here.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much and good luck tonight. Thank you. Simon, thanks for speaking to us ahead of what is your side's first game in this year's Centenary Shield. What's the mood been like in the camp in the lead up to it?
Yeah, it's really good. We've had a long process really now, sort of 4 or 5 months of trials and training sessions and competitive games. We've been lucky in the fact that we've probably had 3 really serious competitive games in a friendly format, and then we have some in-house games as well. So, look, the mood in the camp's good. We're excited and we're ready to go. The big thing now is obviously you can be ready, but the true test is when you get your first Centenary Shield game.
And you obviously come into the competition this year as the reigning champions. Does that add any extra pressure or give any sort of different feeling to occasions like tonight at all?
Well, it's slightly different in the fact that you get a new group of lads every year. There is 3 or 4 from last year that were a year young last year, but it's a fresh set. I think we put our own pressure on ourselves as a coaching staff and a playing group and as an overall group together, a pressure that you obviously want to deliver and get results. So as nice as last year was, and it was very memorable for the team that were involved and ourselves, this is a new year and a new group, and we've got to take it from afresh from there.
And in terms of the challenge that England will pose for you tonight, what are you expecting from a tactical point of view from them this evening?
Well, the one thing when you play England away, you know it's going to be difficult. They're obviously probably had a look at how they got on maybe a couple of weeks ago against Scotland there, and we know they're going to definitely come out really competitive. Tactically, it's difficult to call sometimes because games change. You change your tactics game to game according on who you're playing, and also where you're playing, and players are in form or players injured. So, look, we've done our preparation for our own tactical work, and then we have a big emphasis on letting the players see how it works out once they get onto the park. So, yeah, we're ready and we're looking forward to it. I think it's important to emphasise to the players that they've worked really hard and sacrificed a hell of a lot in their careers so far, their young careers, to get to play in occasions like this. So, it's really important that they go and enjoy it as well.
Thanks very much and good luck tonight. Well, great to hear from both the England boss Richie Alderson and the Northern Ireland head coach Simon Nicks there then, as the two teams are making their way out onto the field of play here at the Truro Sports Hub, the home of Truro City FC, the National League South side. It's an excellent venue for a special occasion here this evening, as the two teams just line up on the field of play there. Northern Ireland, the reigning champions of this competition, then of course will prove to be a stern test for England this evening. England looking to get their first win of the campaign after a 6-2 defeat away at Scotland on the opening day. Just a moment, we will pause for the national anthems of the two respective sides. Looks as though they're just going to line up in front of the spectators here. So we'll pause now for the two national anthems. The national anthem shared then, there of course, between England and Northern Ireland. We are counting down to kick-off here at the Truro Sports Hub. It's the Centenary Shield 2025 clash between England and Northern Ireland. So I can take you through how the two teams line up then, starting with the England starting 11 this evening. Joel Neal is the man in goal for Richie Alderson today. Then on the substitutes bench, the substitute goalkeeper is Ryan Johnson. The rest of the England starting 11, Roman Chaps, Luke Parker, Harvey Solly, Patrick McGowran, Ashton Houlihan, Alex Vick, Luca Taylor, Liam Higgins, George Lycett and Gildo da Silva. So there you have the England starting 11 this evening. As for Northern Ireland, their goalkeeper is Oisin Murray, and then outfield Ben Wilson, James Hood, James Simpson, Sam McClintock, Kevin Hawthorne, Owen O'Neill, Josh Williamson, Michael Harkin, Oliver McCart and Sheenan Devine. Simon Nicks, of course, the man in charge of his Northern Ireland team. The substitutes for both sides. Ryan Johnson, as I mentioned, is the England substitute goalkeeper. Theo Azia, Joseph Kennedy, Mal Bowyer and Jack Wallace make up a Slightly short England substitute bench this evening. There are 3 more substitute options to be called up on in reserve for Northern Ireland. Milo Bimers is the substitute goalkeeper, then Kieran Rogers-Duffy, Aidan Tejada, James McClure, Joseph Sheridan, Sam Sproul, Brandon Downey and Cayman McDermott. The referee this evening is Ryan Cornelius. His assistants are Josh Eyre and Paul Kempen. And the 4th official for tonight's match is Scott Coots. Well, really looking forward to this one this evening then. Northern Ireland, very tough task in hand today for England as the host team. England boss Richie Alderson alluded to that in his pre-game interview. Alderson now back in charge of the England U18 Schoolboys after Luke Hampton's departure in the summer. 2 captains there together in the centre circle, just being spoken to by our match official. It's a great venue here this evening as well for these young players to pull on the shirt of their respective national teams. These 2 teams, of course, met last season. The Centenary Shield away in Northern Ireland. That's how it works in the Centenary Shield. One side will host this particular fixture 1 year, the other will host it the following season. Last year's result was 3-0 in favour of the eventual champions Northern Ireland, and the number 17 for them today, Michael Harkin, scored a spectacular goal, a bicycle kick from a set piece. One of the best goals I've ever seen live, and certainly the goal of the tournament last time out in the Centenary Shield last year. So we're just about ready to get underway then. England in the white shirts with the blue shorts and white socks. Northern Ireland, green shirts, white shorts and blue socks as well. Referee just making sure that all's in order. He then blows his whistle. We are underway with England attacking the goal to the left of the picture as we look at things here from Truro Sports Hub. Sent forward there by Ben Wilson, the right back for Northern Ireland. And an early involvement for Patrick McGowran, the England number 6. All of these England schoolboys have come through an extensive trials process. Such an achievement in its own right to even make this stage, to represent their country on the international level. Possession collected there by Alex Vick for England, the number 17. Goes back to goalkeeper Joel Neal. Just cut underneath it a little more than he would have liked there, and it dropped centrally. Both teams still just easing their way into the contest, of course, very early stages. Flick header on there from Sheenan Devine. Northern Ireland working it well around the edge of the England penalty area, but then the effort from Josh Williamson was high and wide of the target. England goalkeeper, you can see there, Joel Neal, placing the ball down for this goal kick. He's here representing Cleveland County Schools FA. Both these players representing their county schools for the national side. As England come forward over on the right flank. Position there which Liam Higgins is occupying from the off. Managed to get the cross into the penalty area as well, but it's well cleared away. McGowran will tidy things up at the back for England. I'm happy to go all the way back to Neil. Left-footed clearance away more than anything else from Neil. Again, just dropped slightly short of where he probably would have best liked it to. Drops into the midfield towards Luca Taylor. Couldn't quite keep hold of the ball that time. Northern Ireland look to progress on the left wing. Advancing down it there. It's an opportunity early on, and it's over the bar from Oliver McCart. Great chance inside the first 3.5 minutes there for Northern Ireland. McCart just couldn't keep his effort down. Came from the visitors winning the ball back in the middle of the pitch. Nice delivery, wasn't it? From that left wing. Unmarked, it must be said, McCart as he arrived in the penalty area. Might have been a bit of an inquest in the England defence as to how he was allowed to roam freely into the penalty box like that, but it's a let-off for the home team. But McCart couldn't divert that on target. Clearance more up than away from Solly. The England skipper, Roman Chaps, wearing the number 5 shirt over on the right side of defence. He's asking for the decision from a referee, but it went the way of the visitors. Again, it's that same avenue of attack for Northern Ireland, and again, it's another opportunity. De Silva with the crucial defensive intervention. Backtracking from his more usual attacking role there, Gildo De Silva. Showing the other side of his game well. First free kick of the game goes Northern Ireland's way for that foul. Happy to take it short to get the ball back rolling quickly. Northern Ireland with the better of it in the opening 5 minutes then. Here's McCart, the man who has had the best chance of the game. He'll be wishing that he had that one back on short. Devine trying to play the pass to the feet of the striker there, McClintock. Didn't work out for Simon Nix's men. Good work from Owen O'Neill, Northern Irish centre-back, but his clearance drops out of play. Maybe now just a chance for England to try to get their foot on the ball and enjoy a spell of possession in the opposition half, but right as I say that, the whistle goes for the foul. So no pressure in the Northern Irish half of the pitch, and they've got the ball back here with the free kick. Long up it goes from back to front, but well taken down in the England defence. Now here's Taylor. Well, the flick header is a good one, but the offside flag is raised on the far side there against George Lycett. Just adjudged to have gone a little too early in behind the back line of the Northern Irish defence. It's a nice flick on though, and a good run as well from Lycett, just went a little too soon. First sign of promise for England in the opposition half though. Again, they've got work to do at the back, and that work is done well by Neil. Currently plays his club football with Whitby Town FC. The England goalkeeper given the nod tonight ahead of Ryan Johnson. McCart. Sent it forward first time. The header from Vic breaks back to McCart again. He's the man dictating things in the middle of the pitch so far. Now Devine cuts inside onto his favoured left and curls the effort just wide of that far post. Asking for a corner, and I think he's got it as well here. England not happy with the officials for giving that corner. Still the pressure remains on the home team's goal. So a set piece to defend then here for England. Corner's going to be taken by Josh Williamson, central midfielder. Whips the ball in there with his right foot and it's bouncing around the 6-yard box. Can England clear it? It's a right old scramble in there. Hood with the first opportunity for Northern Ireland, and it took quite a while for England to clear their lines. Great delivery from Williamson. Hood's header just dropped down into the danger zone, didn't it? Bodies on the line defending from an England point of view. It's two good quality opportunities. Still inside the opening 9 minutes though here early on for Northern Ireland. Both sides there were set up for a Northern Ireland throw-in, but referee feeling there was a touch back off their man, so it's gone in England's favour. It's been a strong start for the reigning champions as they go in search of second title in 2 years. They begin their title defence tonight. Such an impressive campaign for them last season, having finished bottom of the table, by the way, the year before that. Of course, the group of players changes year on year as players move up through and past the under-18 age group, but for the country and for the coaching staff involved, it was an incredible turnaround from the year before. Here's Devine, the man with the captain's armband on for Northern Ireland. Breaks back to Devine again, turns away from Alex Vick. And Devine's attempted delivery is blocked well by Chaps. Looks as though a long throw-in is in the making then here. Northern Ireland did trouble England with that corner set piece, and they'll look to do the same again here with this long throw-in delivery, but well claimed. Good judgment, good execution to come out and make the catch there from the England goalkeeper. Nice skill too from Luke Parker. Extremely composed in possession, wasn't he? Couldn't panic at all under the pressure. But once more England struggling to maintain possession. It's a loose one though for Northern Ireland, out of play right in front of the two teams' dugouts on this near side. And now England can advance. It's De Silva. Northern Irishman went down. De Silva continues and wins England a corner. Hands off Owen O'Neill. Good work there from the England wide man. Roles reversed then as England have the opportunity to test the Northern Irish defence with a corner of their own. Two hands in the air as the signal then here for England from this corner. Sent into again a good area and it bounces through. It wasn't dealt with at the first time of asking, but now Michael Harking can bring the ball clear. Harking keeps hold of it as well, looks for another 1v1. That was quickly put a stop to by Luke Parker. The switch of play is slightly wayward with De Silva, so it bounces out. Simon Nix, you can just see there, the Northern Irish boss. I imagine will be relatively pleased with the start that his side have made to the game. Had those 2 chances in the first 9 or so minutes, and had the lion's share of possession so far as well, but still very early stages, as I say. Long it goes from back to front, that time more direct for England. Up it bounces over the halfway line again. James Hood goes to ground. Too much contact in Northern Ireland midfielder's back. Wins the free kick. Free kick taken long and direct again, and the flick header here is going to be collected by Devine. Good challenge though. Came and took absolutely everything that was in his way there. Devine's going to leave the set-piece taking duties to his teammate McCart. In fact, it's going to be taken short here to Devine. Pre-planned routine from the training ground here, and it's not the execution though that Michael Harkin was after. Out of play, it bounced, and it's a pressure reliever on the England defence. Neil does take that one short, having taken the prior restarts long. Hart again on the ball in midfield. Referee's going to bring it back for that foul. A little bit of a discussion ongoing between the Northern Ireland backline as to whether they want to send the defenders forward to join those in the penalty area. Indeed, they are doing so now. So you'd imagine it will be a testing delivery into the danger zone again. Indeed it is. Didn't quite get the necessary height though. Houlihan played himself into a little bit of trouble, but England do well to get out of that. They're on the counter-attack here too. This is promising now. Higgins heads it forward, almost like a rugby knock-on, wasn't it, that into his path, but just fell away from where he wanted it to drop. Devine on the ball again in midfield. And that's onto the left wing with Harkin. Harkin up against Chaps. Picks the pass well into the area, appeals for a penalty, and the referee's given it. No doubt in the mind of our match official Ryan Cornelius as Sam McClintock went to ground. He blew the whistle and pointed straight to the penalty spot. Great work from Michael Harkin over on the left wing and finding his teammate centrally. The England defender Patrick McGowan certainly didn't get to the ball. Whether there was enough contact there for McClintock to go to ground is debatable. You can certainly see why the referee's given it. There was the challenge and the ball wasn't won. And when McClintock went to ground, the referee had a decision to make. So the opportunity here for Northern Ireland to take the lead. It's taken right-footed and tucked away neatly. Sam McClintock, who won that penalty, gives his team the lead early on. Just over a quarter of an hour on the clock. And Northern Ireland have their title defence underway. It's 1-0 to the visitors.
With the first goal of the game going to Northern Ireland, scored by number 10, Sam McClintock.
So Sam McClintock with the opening goal. The man who won the penalty on hand to tuck it away. Never looked in doubt, did it really, once he stepped up to the ball there. Sent the England goalkeeper the wrong way. Even the eyes, perhaps. lead which Northern Ireland will feel that they're worthy of. The two early good quality opportunities that they weren't able to take. They've taken that one from the penalty mark. England now will just need to refocus, regroup. Ultimately still such a long way to go in this game. As I say, England just need to ensure that they refocus the minds, put that decision to award the penalty behind them. Look to go again from here. Murray was closed down as England sensed an opportunity to maybe block the clearance from the goalkeeper, and that's a foul there on McGowan. Williamson penalised for it, but it was McClintock with the goal. The Northern Irishman who plays for England United. He's a student at North Coast Integrated College. He's on the score sheet for his country here this evening. Actually is one of the more experienced members of the Northern Irish camp. He's a member of the Super Cup winning county Londonderry team in 2023 and is part of the side who won this Centenary Shield in 2024 as well. He's up to the task on the big occasion. There he is again, McClintock looking to turn provider. And finding Devine, but it just trickles out of play, the wrong side of the white line. Disappointing time for England to concede, really, because it just came at a time in the game where you felt that perhaps the home side had negotiated the early pressure and were just beginning to come into the game a little bit more. It's a goal now which has firmly swung the pendulum in Northern Ireland's favour, and they're advancing again with the ball in the England half. 20 minutes on the clock. Simpson looking for the longer pass forward. Takes onto the edge of the penalty area. Good challenge in there from McGowan in the England defence. Chap sends it forward. Can't find a white shirt. McCart was eager to get rid of it quickly. Eventually, after that short spell of back and forth, it's out for the Northern Ireland throw, which they're taking now. O'Neill looking to utilise that long diagonal pass again. McCart did his best to keep it in play, but couldn't quite get there in time. The linesman was quick to raise the flag, signal that it's gone out of play. England throw to be taken here by Luke Parker. Looks forward, takes it towards Ashton Houlihan. Houlihan, who is one of just a few to remain from last year's England Centenary Shield squad. Hood working hard in midfield again. Devine looking down the line. Oh, Neil's clearance could have ultimately proved to be far more problematic than it was in the end, as the clearance smashed off the unknowing Patrick McGowan. It's a corner that England concede, but no further damage done as yet. Anyway, they still need to defend this set piece, of course. Northern Ireland have early on in this first quarter of the game looked dangerous from set plays. That time it's comfortably dealt with at the near post. Not the requisite height on the delivery to beat the first defender. Throw taken short. Nice footwork to skip inside there. Houlihan wins the ball back as he broke his way in midfield, and once more both teams feel that that ball should be theirs. It's come to Northern Ireland again. Clearance breaks in the middle of the pitch there to Hood. Long diagonal was on for him, just slightly overcooked though, as he tried to pick out Sheen and Devine. Goal kick then to be taken here in front of the Aqua Rod Eastern stand. Great to see so many spectators out here in attendance this evening. And again, the decision is favourable for Northern Ireland. Another throw in there for their right back, Ben Wilson. Now Lycett, whose opportunities to involve himself in moments like that have been few and far between so far for the England front man. He's caught offside the once and he's just given the free kick away there. It's been difficult for him as the lone striker. Free kick taken by O'Neill back to Murray. And Northern Ireland will play out with comfortable possession once more. England sensing a chance to just up the intensity of their press, and Simpson somewhat fortunate to win the throw-in. Forward from that throw-in from McCart, but only directly out of play. Vic back to Captain Chaps. Better this from England. It has been a decent response since conceding. As I said earlier, it did feel as though England were just beginning to come into the game a little more before that goal. There's a half chance there though, and a little bit of miscommunication maybe between the England goalkeeper Neil and his defender Harvey Solly, but Solly was going to take no chances. Ensured that his goalkeeper wasn't beaten to the ball. Wilson. Hood. I think he's done well so far in midfield for Northern Ireland. James Hood. Oh, nice footwork here from Harkin, who gets towards the byline. There's another chance, and it's 2-0. And it's that man again, Sam McClintock, with the goal. His first from the penalty spot, the second a close range rebound tap-in. And Northern Ireland double their lead here with 26 minutes on the clock. It's England 0, Northern Ireland 2. Splendid work once again in creating the chance by Michael Harkin down that left wing. As you see there, completely burst past the acceleration to take the ball away from Roman Chaps. Beaten in that 1v1 duel. A little bit of fortune maybe for Northern Ireland about the way in which the ball bounced back into the path of McClintock. once it did, he wasn't going to miss from there. With Neil left stranded on the floor as well, there was nothing that the goalkeeper could do to prevent him from scoring. He's on a hat-trick now, Sam McClintock. It's been a clinical performance from the Northern Ireland number 10 here in this first half. Josh Williamson there, just coming across to take some instructions on board from his boss Simon Nix. I think there's going to be a substitution here for England. Theo Isaiah, the number 4, is the man to come on. Yeah, so England boss Richie Alderson showing his hand by way of a substitution for the first time today. Looks as though Azir is going to slot in that back line, so a little bit of a change in tactics maybe for England to mitigate against the Northern Ireland presence over on the left wing. Azir takes that throw in then. The atmosphere now just feels a little bit subdued, certainly for the home crowd. It's because of the two clinical finishes, one from the penalty spot and the other on the rebound from Sam McClintock. Ultimately the difference between the teams at this stage, but England come forward here with Luca Taylor. Tried to spin away with the ball there, Luke Parker. The free kick is conceded in the aftermath. Northern Ireland have taken it quickly. Here to Devine. Back into Devine's path again, but it was a firm but fair challenge from Ashton Houlihan. A little bit of frustration maybe in that one too for the England number 8, but like I say, it was a fair tackle and a great one too. Got to the ball. The only representative from Durham County Schools FA in the starting 11 tonight, Ashton Houlihan. Here's Hawthorne. Higgins forced to backtrack all the way back there to his defensive work. Looks as though it was Roman Chaps, the England captain, who's been withdrawn as Theo Isaiah came on in his place. England coaching staff seemingly just feeling that he was struggling with the pace and direct power for Michael Harkin on that left wing. Bounces through the penalty area. There's Williamson, who collects on this near side. Devine, I beg your pardon, with the ball. Devine sets it back for Wilson to cross. Taken down again in a dangerous area around the edge of the penalty area, and eventually England get the free kick for that foul, pushing the back. So 31 minutes played, and of course England would love a goal back before half-time, but there's pressure on the goalkeeper there from Devine, and it just looked very uncomfortable for a moment there for Joel Neal. Foul on Taylor wins England the free kick. But yeah, as much as England would like that goal back before half-time, it's imperative here you feel that they don't fall 3 behind before the break. 2-0, and certainly in schoolboy football, where you tend to see more goals than the higher senior adult game. Certainly still a chance for England to come back in that second half if it were still to be 2-0 at the break, but a 3-goal margin. At that point you would somewhat fear for England. Isaiah there with that throw-in. He's one of a couple of representatives from Shropshire, alongside fellow defender Harvey Solly. Wilson. Devine. Curls that one back to James Simpson. On the left side of central defence for Northern Ireland. Given the beneficiary of the advantage there, Simpson. But Northern Ireland doing really well to maintain possession. It's a difficult task for England. Certainly when Northern Ireland have the ball around their defensive line or in midfield, England struggling to get close enough to the ball and really effectively press in any sort of numbers. Hood spreading the ball forwards again, and with great execution once more. Good defending from Parker. He's done well so far, Luke Parker. Scoreline certainly doesn't reflect his individual defensive performance. 2 or 3 really strong and firm but fair challenges from the England number 16, Luke Parker, in this game so far. De Silva over on the right wing now, and surely that's going to bring about a yellow card as well as just a free kick. It's a cynical foul, so yeah, indeed the game's first yellow card. Shown the way there of James Hood. De Silva just making his way back over towards this left wing now. It's where he started the game, but just ventured over onto the far side to involve himself a little easier there, perhaps frustrated with his lack of service so far. Like I mentioned, in a similar sort of way for George Lycett, the England striker, who's struggled to see much of the ball. Wilson forward here to Williamson. Out to Harkin again. Harkin taken down by Higgins. And the card is out of the pocket of referee Cornelius again, so Higgins makes it 1 apiece in terms of players cautioned. He joins Hood in the book for that foul. De Silva there just asking Higgins if there was a need to make that challenge, but probably testament to the quality that Northern Ireland left winger Michael Harkin has presented so far. Maybe a little bit of fear in the England man's head as Harkin got on the ball in a similar position again. Set piece delivery again is into the 6-yard area, right onto that 6-yard box line. I think the initial ball was won by one of those green shirts, but Neil was able to catch it the second time of asking. Throw taken forward down the line. Lycett was doubled up on. Both O'Neill and then covering defender James Simpson were in close attendance to him. Northern Ireland have done that well at times when they've needed to in this first half as well. Outnumbered those England players. It's the other side of the coin, isn't it, really? When I mentioned Lycett and at times De Silva struggling for support in the England attacks, the other side too, that is how well Northern Ireland have done to get a whole host of bodies around the England player in possession. Bit of a lunge from Harkin. Referee allows the game to flow freely and is then going to bring it back for one of potentially many fouls on Gildo De Silva. Nice footwork from the England winger, again brightening inside. It's the crowd here, just trying to lift things from an England point of view. There's a concern here though for Ashton Houlihan, who's down at the moment, whether he's going to require the services of the England physio. I think is going to be the case here. England certainly wouldn't want to lose one of the more integral parts of their team in the middle of the pitch, Houlihan. Said before the game, Ashton Houlihan, that this was the fixture that he was looking forward to most because of how much the challenge was there to face the side who finished as champions last year. Hopefully he'll be okay to continue. Back to his feet, but still moving gingerly. But when we do resume, there's going to be this set-piece opportunity then here for England to deliver. And a couple of options standing behind the ball to potentially do so as well. Just the referee marches back those requisite 10 yards. The three-man Northern Ireland wall. It's a very long way out for a potential shot on goal. You would expect it to be a more regular delivery towards the back post, but let's see. 3 England players in those white shirts waiting around that back post area. It's going to be Taylor with the delivery. It is towards that area at the back post, but the referee's blown the whistle and it's for a penalty. Well, England with the chance to get back into the game then here. As we show you on the replay, a slight pull maybe by James Simpson. Just seemed to have a little hold on the shirt of Patrick McGowran. It's a questionable call again. And there weren't too many appeals from the England players either. But the penalty kick's been awarded, and the chance here falls on the shoulders of the number 17, Alex Vick. Can he here get England back in the game? Vick looking to halve the deficit, but it's saved by Oisin Murray. And it's a let-off for Northern Ireland. Goalkeeper Murray guessed right, dived to his right, and was able to not only keep it out but also hold on to it as well. Not the cleanest of strikes from the penalty. And Vick there with his head in his hands. He knows that that's a golden chance which has ultimately come and gone now for England. Well, it was a route potentially back into the game that England haven't been able to take. And with that for the home side, you fear that the visitors might just get the tails up even more. But both teams will certainly need to be careful when defending set pieces that they don't pull back at the opposition at all, because the referee was very eager-eyed in awarding that spot kick. Maybe those of a Northern Ireland persuasion, who I'm sure may not have felt that it was worthy of the penalty being awarded, might say that justice was served as goalkeeper Murray made the save. It's been a very lively first half though, hasn't it? Certainly no settling into things for Northern Ireland as they start this year's title defence, and for England in their first home game of this year's Centenary Shield, beaten previously by Scotland away from home a fortnight ago now. Taylor just overran the ball. The referee's going to bring it back for the foul as well. Taylor just took a slightly heavy touch as Tried to drive in field. Here's a replay of the penalty. Goalkeeper guessed right. Like I say, crucial as well that he was able to hold on to the ball, prevent any potential rebound. And he did that well, the Northern Ireland goalkeeper. What a moment that is for him, representing his country. A man who plays at club level for Cliftonville FC. Says his favourite player is Joe Hart. Well, I'm sure he saved a fair few penalties in his time. He's got one today in front of the cameras, so he can add to his own highlights reel. Northern Ireland advancing again here with Devine. Well, just shot the ball back as he looked for a cutback, but there was nobody in green arriving. Devine taking that corner short, played back into the path of Devine again. He bounces through and it's well saved by Neil and really well pushed away too. Houlihan goes to ground. Looks okay after that earlier injury concern though. That was a firm challenge from Oliver McCart. I'm surprised the referee hasn't penalised that one. This is a replay of the effort on goal, and it's actually a better save than I initially perhaps gave it credit for there, Joel Neal, because goalkeepers never like those sorts of cross-come shot deliveries, difficult to commit before there's a touch or not for many players in the centre. Yeah, great goalkeeping from the England number one. Like I say, we're surprised though that McCart wasn't punished despite having won the ball for the follow-through. It was a bit of a high boot with studs showing, but the referee thought it was fair. Unlike with that one. The free kick is Northern Ireland's thereabouts the halfway line. We'll see how much added time we have at the end of this first half as well. We're in the final minutes of the first 45 now. Like I say, it's been full of action. And a good watch here in this Centenary Shield match. Hood eager to kickstart the Northern Ireland attack again. Azea beaten to the ball by Harkin. Harkin trying to find a way out from that corner quadrant. 4 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. So still time for a change in the scoreline. Nicely taken down by the ball boy behind the goal. Yeah, we had that one stoppage in play, didn't we, when the England physio was on to see to Ashton Houlihan, and with 2 goals and a penalty awarded at the other end, not converted. You can see where the referee's got that 4 minutes of stoppage time from. But you feel England will just want to get into half-time and look to regroup from there then. It's not been their half by any means. Like I said earlier, imperative that they don't here concede again. Here's Devine. He's been so good in this first half. Rather like Harkin on the other side as well. Both wingers just so direct, so pacey, purposeful when they get the ball. The pair of them, Harkin and Devine, have been too hot to handle for the England defence so far. Again, it's that same short corner from McCart to Devine. Devine with the delivery, right into the head of the England defender. McCart hooks it back in there. It's bread and butter work though there for Neil. Or an opportunity maybe for Devine as he just snuck round the wrong side of the England defence. England will be thankful that Joel Neal read the danger. But chances and moments in the final third have very much been limited in the first half for England going forwards. Other than that penalty, they've really struggled to create. Well closed down there though from George Lycett, and that will just plant a seed of doubt in the mind of Oisin Murray. Penalty kick stopper in the second half. Might think twice before rolling the ball out, before looking to clear it long in the second half again. First off the head of De Silva, and then Taylor was battling for it. Solly now with the captain's armband on for England, by the way, after the substitution which saw the withdrawal of Roman Chaps round about the midway point of the half. Lycett in battle with Simpson. England ball. Final 30 seconds of the 4 minutes which were indicated as stoppage time. Isaiah just assessing his options. I think he wants to launch it long. And the referee, in fact, has blown the half-time whistle. Much to England's frustration, Isaiah thought about the options from that throw-in and ultimately ran out of time. So half-time it is. And 2-0 the scoreline in favour of Northern Ireland, with those 2 goals from Sam McClintock. The first from the penalty spot, and the second, a close-range rebound after great work from Michael Harkin down the left wing. England then had the opportunity to halve the deficit with a penalty of their own. It wasn't converted. Alex Vick's penalty saved well by Oisin Murray. And that's why the clean sheet is still intact, and the 2-goal advantage too for Northern Ireland at the midway point. That was the decision for the penalty to be awarded early on. McClintock judged to have been fouled inside the penalty area. No mistake for him from the penalty spot.
With a half-time score here at the Truro City Stadium, Northern Ireland under-18 Schoolboys 2, England under-18 Schoolboys 0.
Yeah, precise, wasn't he? Picked his spot and found it. Wheeled away in celebration as well. Then this was the second goal. That was the skill and wide wing play that I was on about from Michael Harkin. Might not go down as an official assist for the Northern Ireland winger after the touch from Joel Neal in the England goal, but he's certainly worthy of it. McClintock was on hand from close range, not picked up by any of the England defenders. It broke back right into the path of Sam McClintock. He finished high to the roof of the net. And then this was the decision for the penalty. The England penalty, that is. Just a little pull back on the shirt of Patrick McGowan. If we had the video assistant referee, I'm not sure whether that one might have been overturned. Maybe not enough contact for McGowan to go to ground, albeit there was some. Either way, rendered irrelevant by that penalty save. Oisin Murray eyeing up the penalty taker, Alex Vick, diving to his right. He held on to it as well, with England's Luke Parker ready for any potential spillage, but there wasn't to be one, and it hasn't to be for England in that first half. So Northern Ireland with the 2-goal advantage here at Truro Sports Hub at half-time. England 0, Northern Ireland 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got a very special 10th birthday wish to go out to a Charlie Rye. Happy birthday, Charlie! And I hope you're having a fantastic evening here at the Truro City Stadium. So Charlie, on his 10th birthday, have a fantastic evening.
Yes, I did. So just go down and check out the show. Yeah, they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned the crowd out and shouted, play that fucking music while it's alright. Play that fucking music nice. Play that fucking music while it's alright. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die. Till you die, yeah. Oh, till you die. Gonna play some It wasn't easy. Changing rock and roll and lines were getting shaky. I thought I'd have to leave it behind. Now it's so much better. It's so much better. I'm funkin' out and have my rewind. I won't lose that feeling. You know I won't. Feel that shit now. Yeah. Shonda Paul, so me go so then. Well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want to do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue. And I might not play number 2. All I know this time is just getting jet. Need a lot of trees up in my head. And a lot of dancing in my bed to run that real. Well, I know, flick a girl, them on the road, them got the goody. And see me up until them don't take out the woody. Front way, back way, cause they came on up and show me virgin. Them want give me and they have to took it. Hot girls out the road and say them see me. And I tell me, say them have something for give me. How much time I like them all and dream about the TV. Them a promise and I tell me, say you be me. But the promise is a compared to a fool, so cool. But they don't know, say that man have to rule the school. When I bet them just wet them up just like a fool. When I dig glittery way I feel use up my tool. Well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want to do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue. And I might not play number 2. All I know this time is just getting jet. Need a lot of trees up in my head. Got another dental in my bed to run that real. So how can they want big up them chest? But they don't know that pick up when they are rated as the best. I wouldn't they love is the sound of all this. When I get up in a guy, I only girls will have requests of me the girl them. Yo, in every minute I'm with it to get the girl them. Escalate and get them regular visit, just give me the girl them. Now them all a pressure, me selling last year, me I did that for them off. If them big papa, me the girl them. Off of the chronic, we take a drag. And I don't mean to brag, every day I got to shag me the girl them. Every time I look in, my mind is on the girls. I want to find out who love them desire. But I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want to do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like I said earlier on, if you are enjoying your first experience here at the Truro City Stadium, please feel free, and we would love to see as many of you here. But our next first home game, our first team here on the 22nd of March when we welcome along Salisbury. And that's a 3 p.m. kickoff here at the Truro City Stadium. And it does help us if you can get your tickets in advance at trurocity.co.uk.
Before we get cross, bad man not cater for them just because we got to end. Well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them wanna do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue, and I might not play number 2. All I know this time is just getting jet. Need a lot of cheese up in my head. Got a lot of dancing in my bed to run that real. Well, I know flick the girl them out the road, them got the goody. Until me up and tell them nothing got the woody. Front way, back way, put the game on up the shove it, virgin. Them want give me and me have to took it. Hot girl them out the road, I said it, see me. And I still me say them have something to give me. How much time I know them all the dream about me, Jimmy. Them a promise and I tell me, say I feel me. What I promise is I compare to a fool, so cool. They don't know, say that one have the rule, the school. And I bet them, just wet them up just like a fool. When I dig necessary way, I feel use up my tool. Well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want to do. Still I got to stick to my girls like glue. And I might not play number 2. All I know the time is just getting jet. Need a lot of trees up in my head. Got a little dancing in my bed to run that real. But I don't really care what people say.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome back then to the Truro Sports Hub, the home of Truro City FC, here as England host Northern Ireland in this 2025 Centenary Shield match. It's currently 2-0 to the visitors at half-time after a brace from their number 10, Sam McClintock. The first tucked away from the penalty spot after he himself won that penalty. And the second, he was the quickest to react after a loose ball broke his way in the 6-yard box. Great work from Michael Harkin to set that opportunity up for McClintock. And a close range finish into the roof of the net. And the big talking point for England was the missed penalty Alex Vick unable to convert. Oisin Murray with the save. Vick did hit the target, but it wasn't the most convincingly struck penalty. And Murray was able to hold on to it as well as he dived to his right. So that was the story of the first half. Ready for the second stanza here. Just trying to see if there's been any changes for either side at half-time as well. There was, of course, that change in the first half when the England captain, Roman Chaps, was replaced by Theo Azea. So I'll do my best to keep you up to date with any half-time changes and any changes that I'm sure will be made as the second half progresses. You can see the England schoolboy side just coming together there in their team huddle pre-second half. Harvey Solly there with the captain's armband on now. And we're just about ready to get this second half underway then. Going to be England playing from left to right in the second 45. And like I mentioned in the first half, 2-0, always a dangerous scoreline. Same old saying. If they can get one back, particularly if it comes early on in this second 45, then who knows? But still very much tough work to do for England in this second period. Can't currently see of and haven't been informed of any half-time changes. So it looks as though it may be the same 11s that finished that first half out there on the field of play who've returned back to it at the start of the second. Throwing for Theo Azea. Houlihan's header. It's a foul there given against Lycett. Just a little bit of sorting out to do here for the referee as well. Off the ball. And I think the yellow card there has been shown to Azea. Yeah, didn't quite catch it there on the replay, but it was off the ball. After that free kick had initially been given, so Azea becomes the third player booked. He joins teammate Liam Higgins and the Northern Ireland midfielder James Hood in the referee's notebook. Throw-in taken there for Northern Ireland into the chest of Josh Williamson. Hawthorne. Back to Simpson. Plays his club football for Larne FC. Central defender. Actually a versatile player anywhere on the left side of the pitch, but playing in that left centre-back role today, the Northern Ireland number 5. Wilson looking in there for the return ball, but that option was turned down. Instead, Northern Ireland just happy to maintain possession, and then the offside flag is raised as a result of the more penetrative pass, which found McClintock. So long it goes from Joel Neal. He made a great save towards the end of that first half. Difficult one it was for him to judge. A cross-come shot, type of effort that you so frequently see just bounce in at the back post, but Neal did really well to make the correct call and make the save as a result of that. Keep the scoreline down. Houlihan was pushed. Surely that's a push and should be a foul, not given. And England are, well, adamant that there they should have had the free kick, and they feel they've got a bit of a case too. Houlihan certainly didn't try to intentionally go to ground. It's the push in the back that looked to force that. Cause him to fall. Hawthorn's throwing. The backwards, somewhat unorthodox, but worked out okay there for Northern Ireland, the switch of play. The long diagonal that time looking to cause problems for the England defence again. And you imagine that would have been a topic of conversation in the first half, from the first half, in the team talk at half-time for England, how they can combat and mitigate against the threat that Northern Ireland have in those wide areas, particularly with those long diagonal switch of plays we've seen them look to use so frequently. That's to get the ball out wide, and then when the players on the wings get the ball, that's a whole other problem, isn't it, for England? Harkin and Devine, probably the two standout performers on the pitch in the first 45, the two Northern Ireland wide men. And that's without the fact that Sam McClintock's got both the goals. So you can probably add him in there as a trio of standout performers. They're coming forward here in Northern Ireland with Williamson. Good covering defending though there by the man representing Cleveland Schools FA, Patrick McGowran. Was involved in the penalty decisions at both ends of the field actually. McGowran in that first half. Oh, nice turn, takes it really well on the spin into the penalty area. He tried to drive onto his favoured left foot there, Sheenan Devine. Was just disrupted by a good tackle at crucial points. Hawthorn, Harkin. I think Isaiah has done well since he's been tasked with just disrupting Michael Harkin from that midway point of the first half when he was introduced. The free kick is England's. Neil, the goalkeeper, another representative of Cleveland County Schools, taking that goal kick, free kick I should say, from the goalkeeper long. Isaiah just being told exactly where to take this throw in from. Referee just trying to ensure he doesn't creep too far up the line. There's still too many yards. Somewhat unknowingly bounced away and out of play off George Lycett's head. Simon Nix, you can see there, I'm sure his half-time team talk would have been a positive one. So much to be pleased about from a Northern Ireland point of view in that first 45. Here's Harkin, looking for the cut back to the edge of the penalty area. The danger loomed again on the England goal, but it was a bit of a fresh air shot in the end. I think no contact was made with the ball. Isaiah's clearance up towards the halfway mark. Lycett tries to link the play, but nobody there in England whites. Still as we were at half-time. The second half has started very much in similar fashion to how the majority of that first half was played out. It hasn't quite been as explosive as the first half was at times, but there's a chance here. A little pull back at the shirt again maybe, but then going to ground far after that, just as he stumbled, was Sam McClintock, and fair play to him for staying on his feet initially. Again, Northern Ireland, another instance of them looking for that slip ball through. The England defence trying to find those gaps in behind, and you feel as the game goes on, England will have to creep that back line higher and higher up the pitch if they want to try and get themselves back into the game going forwards as well. Back line will need to push higher to stay connected, and then the space is there for Northern Ireland to exploit potentially with the apparent quality that they have in the midfield and forward departments. Just a slight stoppage here at the moment, as you can see. Just removing some sock tape, I think, there. The Northern Irishman, Josh Williamson. From Belfast is Williamson, plays for Crusaders. Looks as though we're good to go again with this throw-in now to be taken. Indeed it is, long forward. To work the line. Divine. Cuts back to his left foot, then delivers well. There's players over here on the near side, but the shot on the spin is straight at the goalkeeper Neil. McClintock turned down the offer of a couple of the teammates to his left. On a hat-trick, of course. Probably with that in the back, or maybe the forefront of his mind as he had the turn and chose to shoot. Isaiah did well just to disrupt the flow of the attack, but still able to get the shot away there, McClintock. Long it goes once more from Neil. Just outside his penalty area, Murray, so had to smash the ball into touch. There's going to be a substitution here for England. No real change since half-time, so there's going to be a change in terms of personnel instead.
So a substitution for England. Coming off is number 15, Luca Taylor, and he's been replaced by number 11, Macaulay Bowyer.
Mal Bowyer on there to replace Luca Taylor for England. So a substitution at this port of call now for Richie Alderson. Cynical foul from Holohan. The yellow card is going to be shown his way. Yeah, just a sign of frustration there, I think, for Holohan. Again, Harkin going to ground, but no free kick given that time. Fair challenge from Isaiah. So we'll see if Bowyer can prove to be the extra spark to ignite the engine for England in this second period. Previously with Milton Keynes Dons Academy, Mal Bowyer. Out of play on this near side for Northern Ireland as it just bounced away from Kievan Hawthorne. Change as well there by the looks of things for Northern Ireland, just trying to see the number of the player who's come onto the field for the visitors, but it was a quickly made substitution at that latest stoppage.
A substitution for Northern Ireland. Coming off is number 16, Josh Williamson, and he's been replaced by number 11, Joseph.
Josh Williamson then replaced, as we heard there from our stadium announcer, and Joseph Sheridan, the number 11, is the player to come on in his place for Northern Ireland. Here is Sheridan now. Tackled to begin with by De Silva. Ball's back with Hawthorne. Taylor wins it in midfield for England, but then can't find a teammate in white and blue. So Joe Sheridan on then for Northern Ireland. He plays for Cliftonville FC, attends St Malachi's College from Belfast. Presented the opportunity to make his Centenary Shield debut here today. Just feels as though the game has fell into a comfortable flow, doesn't it, for Northern Ireland, and England aren't really succeeding in doing much to disrupt that comfortable pattern of play for the visitors. It was good work there from Luke Parker to try and take it upon himself to maybe beat a couple of players in the Northern Ireland front line. The switch of play here is more promising. Higgins just forced wide though, as he had to take it away from goal. Special night, no matter the scoreline or result here for Liam Higgins, playing for his country at the ground of the club for whom he plays as well. Plays for Truro here down on the south coast. Well, he's holding onto the ball there, and the decision is handball for that reason. Sam McClintock, sometimes you see players do that to ensure that, well, the referee has to make a call one way or the other, but it worked against McClintock that time because the referee's decision was not for the foul and instead just for that handball. An hour played now, no real chances of note in the 15 that have passed us by since the second half got underway. And like I say, that really does favour Northern Ireland given the scoreline. It has been a bit stop-start in this second half, and it's been contributed to by these substitutions, of which is going to be another. Ashton Houlihan on a yellow card is going to be replaced. And Joseph Kennedy is the player to come on here then. Kennedy from Cleveland County Schools. He'll be looking to make an impact on off the substitute bench. No chances taken again by McGowran. Content with just putting the ball out for the Northern Ireland throw-in. To Devine. Set back on the cross from Wilson, well defended there by Harvey Solly, who had to be certain that he was going to get his studs to the ball because otherwise would have risked giving away a penalty inside the area, but it was well judged. Oh, Solly's missed it that time, and it could prove to bring about some trouble. Solly, after the initial misjudgment, then commits the foul, and well, thought about taking it quickly, didn't he? There, McClintock thought better of it in the end. He's going to leave it for a couple of his teammates to stand behind from this direct free kick. And it might be a direct shot on goal as well, because it's in a good position. England had one in a similar sort of position in the first half. It was the free kick that led to the penalty call, actually. England's was probably a little further out. This is definitely in range for a shot on goal, and it's a good save from Neil. Anticipated it maybe, beating the wall. He got across there quickly. Joel Neal. Well struck from Shin and Devine. The England wall did jump, but couldn't block it. And had to call upon goalkeeper Joel Neal. Corner ball then. McCart takes it left footed towards the near post, and the flick header was just agonisingly wide. I think it was James Simpson. He jumped higher than anyone. the penalty area. The replay will confirm that. Yeah, Simpson it was. And when he made contact with the ball there on the header, he must have thought he'd scored. Goalkeeper was stranded that time, and the England defence looked a little stranded for a split second as well. But McGowran, in the end, comfortably was first to the ball. This game still just requiring that little bit extra from England. As the shot on goal is turned wide by Neil, and well, that's two fine saves in quick succession from the England shot stopper. And I say more is needed from an England point of view in the game, but they've got their goalkeeper to thank for the fact that they're on further behind. McCart's corner again, towards the back post that time with the deep delivery. Set back for a shot from the edge of the area, it's palmed away and then it's still bouncing around there. Harkin trying to take control. It's another save to add to the tally though for Joel Neal, and now England will come away on the counter. And that counter is quickly put a stop to though by the backtracking Hood. England get the ball back in play quickly. Here's the substitute Kennedy. Gets the cross all wrong, and he'll be frustrated with himself with that, because Lycett was waiting for the cross if it was better placed. It suddenly livened up there, didn't it, this second half, with a few chances coming thick and fast on the England goal for Northern Ireland to extend their lead. And then England sensing a chance to maybe test the Northern Ireland defence on the counter as well. Flick header is a good one. Long into that left channel again, and that was a hefty blow from the England captain, Harvey Solly. I don't think there was any intent there from the stand-in England skipper. But certainly one that you'd want to get the medical teams on quickly for, because it looked a nasty one. Thankfully, looks as though Sheenan Devine, the Northern Ireland captain, is okay and will get back to his feet now. Good to see, because with the unintentional follow through high in the air like that, it could have, like I say, seen the Northern Irishman come out of that challenge certainly second best. So he's off the field for the time being, but Oliver McCart will deliver this free kick. And a chance again as it broke the way of one of many Northern Ireland green shirts who'd loaded the penalty area. You'd probably argue that Northern Ireland have had more chances in the second half than they did in the first. Yet their two goals came in the first 45 and still haven't been able to find a way past Joel Neal in the second half yet. Clearance out of play from Solly. I guess that fact that they have had chances but not scored in the second half just goes to illustrate the importance of how they made their two goals unsavable for the England goalkeeper. One from the penalty spot when he dived the wrong way, and then the close range finish from which he stood no chance. He's done well with everything else, the England goalkeeper tonight. Offside there, the call. Just backtracking from an offside position. An inexperienced error maybe for the Northern Ireland team, but uncharacteristic of what they've brought to the game till this point. else, though, the referee's attention has been drawn to something centre field. It's a substitution, I believe, there for England. Just off camera as that substitution was made, but we'll
A substitution for England.
get you up to date now.
12, Jack Rice. And he's replaced
Jack Wallace, the man coming on there.
George
And George Lycett, the England striker, sees his race run after 70 or so minutes. So you imagine that that's going to be a like-for-like change then, with Wallace coming on in place of Lycett. Another stoppage here at the moment, taking the chance just to take some much needed fluids on board as well. Theo Azea he's going to get the ball back in play now with the throw. Out again for take two for Northern Ireland. Well done in the air by Azea. Still 20 minutes to play, but still something needs to change from an England point of view. Just go back to that missed penalty in the first half and how the picture might have looked, and the game may have felt so different at this stage with a 2-1 scoreline rather than still a 2-goal cushion that Northern Ireland have. I think Northern Ireland are readying another substitution as well. I mentioned pre-match, but a reminder that they have an extensive list to pick from on the substitute bench this evening. 8 options on the bench for Simon Nicks at the start of this game, compared to just the 5 for Richie Alderson and England. Bowyer trying to make something happen in the final third. How can England keep the ball? Not that time, but then the headed pass into the path of Alex Vick. Again, it wasn't taken control of, and just instances like that you feel where the ball's just bouncing away from those England players too regularly. It's caused issues like this with the cutback. There's another chance, and well, there was a Northern Ireland player backtracking towards the ball who just seemed to lose his footing and therefore go to ground. That's better from Wallace, the most recently introduced substitute. Trying to stamp down his influence on the game, and England have needed more of that directness in wide areas, and he's done well in his first involvement since coming on. So Michael Harkin is the man to come off. He had such a strong first half, he's perhaps struggled to have that same level of influence in the second period, but nonetheless still remains as one of the standout performers on the pitch today. Azea with this throw-in. Did start the game last time out, a couple of weeks ago against Scotland. Started on the bench today, of course. Then the outside of the foot delivery from Mal Bowyer. Clearly wanted to keep that on his favoured left foot, where perhaps it might have been more preferable to deliver with the right foot from there, but it wasn't a bad delivery saying that. Good goalkeeping again from Oisin Murray. Kennedy. De Silva just slipped. It's a foul on Kennedy, so an England free kick, which Alex Vick is going to leave his teammate to take. Still, we have a quarter of an hour to play, and like I've said throughout, whilst the time remains, the chance still remains. What you would say as a little caveat to that 15 minutes as well is that given the whole host of substitutions and stoppages that we've had in this second half, you imagine there'll be a substantial period of stoppage time when we do reach the end of the 90 minutes as well. Saw 4 minutes added in the first half. I feel there'll definitely be more than that at the end of the 90. Strong but good header there from Theo Azea. Then forward it goes from Harvey Solly. The midfield battle is on again. Vick wins that battle for England. O'Neill got to the ball first, and again, as we've seen from both defences throughout the game, O'Neill there was content just to put it out for the throw-in. Kennedy just needed a slightly better placed pass. He was in search of Wallace. Good intention. McCart. The substitute Sheridan. Bit of back and forth at the moment as the players who started the game, their legs I'm sure begin to tire at this stage of proceedings. It was always unlikely that we would see a second half played at the intensity and tempo that the first half was. It's probably to be expected, a little drop off in that regard. Northern Ireland have still been able to create chances. Oh, a little slip there, and the free kick is given. Did think initially that there was contact, or has the referee not given the free kick here? I think he's pointing for a goal kick instead, which is surprising. I say surprising because the Northern Ireland players seem to allow that to run out. That's what made me think there must have been a blow of the whistle, but there seemingly wasn't. That might be the issue. Maybe he's just gone down with cramp there. Harvey Solly. So whether there was contact on the heels of the England defender or not, it's just the goal kick that we'll restart with. I think the Northern Ireland player thought it was going to be a corner. Tried to play for the corner. It's a goal kick which was given. Earlier today, by the way, in the other Centenary Shield fixture here this Friday, Wales 1, Scotland 1 was the full-time score in that one. So the spoils were shared between those two. It's a corner well won here by Sheridan. So Scotland moving on up to 4 points after their victory over England a fortnight ago. Wales in their opening game with their first point of it. Yellow card here shown to the corner taker for delaying the restart. So yellow card shown to Oliver McCart. Slightly harsh one, you'd have to feel. But the referee stamping down his authority and ensuring that none of that continues to creep in as the remainder of this game goes by. It's another corner. We'll see what McCart opts for with the delivery this time. It's towards the near post. After the one hand in the air, presumably to signal that to his teammates. Now can England break? Looked for a moment as though they might be able to. Again, just no real flow or rhythm to those counter-attacking transitional moments though. Certainly the intention is there to get players forward and join the attack in those spells. Just hasn't been as free flowing as I'm sure England would like it to have been.
Coming on is number 18, Sam Spruly, and number 6, Aidan James.
Sam Spruly is one of the players coming on here. And the other is Aidan Tejada. So Spruly wearing 18 and Tejada wearing number 6. The latest couple of substitutes. It's a double change there then, of course, for Northern Ireland. Tejada, who plays for Coleraine FC from Derry. Spruly, who plays for Dergview FC and attends Southwest College. So those two both on now for Northern Ireland. Tejada immediately involved, out with the pass onto the right wing to feed Sheridan. And then after losing the ball, there was just a little bit of a bite back at the England man. Vic. I think he's done well when he's had the ball in midfield today, Alex Vic. I'm sure what will be at the forefront of his mind come full time will, no matter what, be that penalty miss, which is somewhat unfortunate because, like I say, I think overall he's had a good game. It's the final 9 of the 90. Tejada lumping it forwards. Zaya met the first header and Parker the second. Here is Vic again. Now to Silva, and England would have been in there had that found Wallace. He was well on his way through on goal. Gildo de Silva's pass didn't quite find him. Somewhat likewise down the other end, the through ball for Sam Spruly. Bounced through instead to Neil. Just in danger of dwindling down to its conclusion, you feel here, this game. Of course, there is no danger in that for Northern Ireland, but from an England point of view, they'll be keen to ensure it doesn't play out that way. Goalkeeper Murray eating away at a few more precious seconds for Northern Ireland. Aerial duel won by the visitors to begin with, but then Vic tidying things up for England. Forward from Azea. It stays in play and breaks back again to Vic. Kennedy using his body well, but was then doubled up on, so to speak, by two Northern Ireland midfield men. The clearance breaks only to Tejada. McClure with the ball in. Vic in the right place again for England. Just seems to have that know-how, reading of the game that perhaps England have struggled with elsewhere on the pitch today. Alex Vic has done that well in midfield. That's really well done by Simpson for Northern Ireland. So comfortable every time he's had the ball. Again, that same switch of play was chosen, but not the same outcome that time as it was overhit. Clear call there from Simon Nix to get on the ball and keep moving the ball at a good tempo, good ball speed to the play is what he's asking his Northern Ireland team for. You wonder whether there's still going to be at least one more goal in this game. England create themselves a chance. Here's the substitute, nice footwork there, Bowyer. And he wins England a rare second half corner. The England substitutes in moments have provided that extra little bit of forward thinking know-how. Can it lead to ultimately a chance on goal? If it's going to do so, it's going to be after this slight stoppage, because the referee wants a word with a couple of players in the packed 6-yard box. Always so crucial that the delivery is right. Will it be this time? Wasn't bad, but it was well defended. And now Northern Ireland can counter, and England have so many bodies committed further forward upfield. Only really Solly back there defending, but then look at that for a recovery from McGowran. Excellent from the England defender. Like I say, it looked as though it was a 2v1 chance there for Northern Ireland. Solly was the only player left back, but McGowran utilising his speed so well, even in this late stage. But now England come forward again, and the game is just becoming a little bit more open. De Silva forced to check back, but does keep possession, and I don't think England have done that enough tonight. Just understand when it's best to keep the ball. So it was a wise decision from Childo De Silva. Having lost it, England now have it back with Kennedy over onto the far flank. Higgins tries to deliver the cross, it bounces up, and the header took it out of the goalkeeper's arms. Either there wasn't a call, or James Simpson didn't hear it from his goalkeeper Oisin Murray. And certainly the radar might just be begun to flash a little bit here for Northern Ireland. Those warning signs just coming on their radar a little. Let's see if that near post defender can be beaten with the delivery this time. It will be all the way to the back stick, and in fact there was too much for anybody to catch it. Referee trying to hurry things up with this Northern Ireland throw-in, quite rightly as well. So come full time, and England will have played half of their games. Feels as though that's gone by very quickly, doesn't it? Given that Northern Ireland are only starting their campaign tonight, but it's the way things work with the 4-game competition. 4 games each team will play. De Silva driving forwards and letting fly. Pulled the trigger. And why not really, when England have struggled to create moments where they can shoot for goal. Thought about it, got his head up, looked back down at the ball and wasn't too far away. Comfortable, I think, for Oisin Murray to see behind, but just, again, it's given Northern Ireland and their defence something to think about, which was lacking in the opening 80 minutes, really, in truth, other than the penalty. England struggled to create any sorts of those positive moments in the final third, and even just with a couple of corners that they had, gave Northern Ireland something to think about.
Just seen a few of you are leaving early. Please, take it steady in the car park, please. Do not over exceed the speed limit, because there are so many children here. Just please take it nice
forward there from Azea.
Getting some home.
And the clearance away from Owen O'Neill, who now has the captain's armband on for Northern Ireland, incidentally, after Devine was substituted. think generally the subs, given that England have brought players on, and of course Northern Ireland have maybe taken some of their stronger players off the pitch as the game's gone on as well, but generally since those subs in the second half, the balance of the game has swung more so in England's favour. Not suggesting for one second that Northern Ireland have lost control of the game, but it's given England a platform to build from since the substitutions. And things have been that a little bit more promising for them since the changes. Oliver McCart might be the latest man to be withdrawn, as he's been seen to here by the Northern Ireland physio James McGoffey. The latest break in play then, and just looking ahead at the next fixtures for these two teams. England's next game isn't until the 11th of April, so a little bit of a break where they'll be able to see the other 4 teams in action. England will host Wales, 7 o'clock kickoff on the 11th of April. For Northern Ireland, they also play that day in a battle of the Irish against the Republic, but they'll have before that, a week before that, have faced off with Scotland, the current league leaders, so the 4th of April is the date for that one for Northern Ireland, their next fixture. And it looks as though it's going to be 3 points for them today. It would take quite the grandstand finale here, wouldn't it, as we are into stoppage time.
A minimum of 5 minutes of additional time.
5 minutes added on at the end of the 90, which feels slightly short, in fairness, considering there was 4 minutes in the first half. Well, just the one substitution. I guess no goals in the second half, though, and without the penalty awards. We have had more instances of players going down requiring treatment from the physios in the second half as well, but 5 minutes added on then. And you imagine the referee will play towards the 96th, given that the game's only just got back underway. McCart sprinting back onto the field after being seen to by the physio. England committing more bodies further upfield, and it's going to leave gaps in their defence, but that's well done to disrupt any chance that may have come on the counter there for Northern Ireland. The free kick's taken quickly, but it's, well, head tennis at the moment, and long from the Northern Ireland back line.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our attendance for tonight is in. It is a brand new record here at the Truro FC Stadium, a whopping 2,835.
Well, as you can hear there from the stadium announcer here at the Truro Sports Club, 2,835 is the official attendance here this evening, which I believe has just been announced as a new record attendance here at the home of Truro City FC as well. So great to see those who've come out in support of these young England schoolboys this evening. Not the result that ultimately the home support came here to witness, and it's going to be another defeat and no points on the board after 2 games, but there's lots I think England can take from this second half, and particularly the final quarter of the game. It's not for the want of trying the reason as to why they'll be at the bottom of the standings at the end of their first 180 minutes of action. They've played 2 really good teams as well, it must be said. Scotland was so strong in that 6-2 dominant display. Northern Ireland here is the reigning champions. Yes, okay, there's different players in their squad today, but like we heard from the manager Richie Anderson explained pre-match, Northern Ireland get a lot more hours together on the training pitch. Their programme is a lot more established in that manner. get the luxury of having so much more contact time as a group of players and with the coaching team as well. So there are positives for England in the second half, particularly towards the end of the game and the way in which they've come back into things a little. And like I said before, if they score that penalty in the first half and if it's still 2-1 now, then the pressure really would still be on the Northern Ireland defence. And from a psychological point of view, this game could have a really different feel to things. Urge to shoot there, picking a good pass though, up to fellow substitute Wallace was Kennedy. Again, another example of the substitutes helping England in the attacking half. Northern Ireland clear off the head of Solly, who's struggling with that cramp concern that was bothering him earlier. And the throw in there won by the substitute Sam Sprowley. It's a Northern Ireland throw which they're in absolutely no hurry to take. You've got to give the credit where it's due today to the visitors. It's going to be a yellow card for again delaying of the restart, not quite at the full-time whistle. Referee with a few blows of it, but just to ask Kevin Hawthorne to hurry things along, and Hawthorne was booked. Hawthorne takes that throw in again. Northern Ireland will keep the ball towards the corner flag, win themselves another throw in. Credit where it's due today for them. Excellent display, particularly in that first half with the two wide men, Michael Harkin and Sheenan Devine. And there's the full-time whistle. 2-0 it finishes after two first-half goals from Sam McClintock. The difference maker ultimately across the 90 minutes. His first was from the penalty spot, his second from inside the 6-yard box. The penalty miss from Alex Vick. The save from Oisin Murray to deny him was the other most notable moment. No goals in the second half. It was a professional display from the visitors to see it through to the end of the 90 minutes. That's how it's finished here at Truro Sports Hub. The final score is England 0, Northern Ireland 2. So let's show you the highlights then just before we leave you this evening. That was the penalty tucked away. Composure personified there by Sam McClintock. Like I say, it wasn't long after that he got his second goal as well. That's how you take a penalty. And this was the second goal. Harkin doing so well in the build-up. A little bit of a spillage from the England goalkeeper, but you can't really blame him after the deflection. Deflected cross for which Neil had to readjust to. And a simple finish in the end for McClintock second. And that ultimately was the end of the goal scoring. And I don't think many thought that was going to be the case at that point after just a quarter or so of the game. But that's how it finishes then. Thanks a lot for joining us this evening. Really appreciate your company this Friday night. It wasn't to be for England here down on the south coast, as it's the visitors, Northern Ireland, who start their title defence in fine form. The full-time score, England 0, Northern Ireland 2.
So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please show your appreciation for England and Northern Ireland.